Hey, we're talking about the CW's DC shows. Up next on Geek Out SA.
Not attempt to adjust your YouTube video. We control the stream.
And welcome back to Geek Out SA. It's Friday and we're having fun. And we're back, even though they got rid of our show from last week. That was real nice, YouTube.
Well, I mean, we knew that we stood the chance of having something happening when we were talking about COVID and the vaccine and stuff.
But,
mean,
like, they
it's
didn't
not like
even
we
watch
were
it.
spreading
Like
lies or anything. And there's a lot of lies and misinformation out there that stayed up. So I don't know. It's whatever.
I put into
To like have them review it or whatever.
review it.
Yeah, but it's probably like a bot or something.
You probably didn't even have anybody review this to know.
You said the word COVID, and that was it.
And vaccine.
And vaccine.
And that was it.
That's
yeah.
usually what happens. Like you say that on Facebook, and you get fact checked.
Yeah.
By the bots.
But this was even more than fact check.
Like, we actually fact-checked our own facts.
Yeah.
They were checked. And so, I mean, that's probably why we got, trashed, because we had actual facts.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's just, it hit an algorithm, and the algorithm was like, decline. But I don't know how to not do that, because I know there's a lot of other stuff out there that talks about that, and they didn't get removed, so. And our channel's kind of tiny, let's just be honest. So I'm just like, okay. Well, I guess.
So we're going to talk about the DC shows.
Yes. So we're going to talk about whether we are so over it or maybe not so over it.
Maybe
okay?
not.
So I made these for Vincent and I. We have not discussed yet how we're going to vote. So we don't know how each other's...
Right.
Well, I actually know that I should have only made this one for Vince because he's going to be like, maybe not for all of them because he loves everything always. Stuart and I give him a hard time about that all the time, unless it was like the Fantastic Four movie, and he'd be like, so over it. But
Or RoboCop.
Maybe not.
The remake.
RoboCop, yeah, so over it. So, but we're going to vote, and then we're just going to kind of talk about like why we're so over it or why we might not be. Oops, I'm knocking things down.
So let's talk about the first one, Black Lightning.
Okay.
So
I
started watching Black Lightning from the very beginning. You didn't really watch it too much, and
I never watch the stuff you're watching at first because I know that it needs to build up a little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't get my after school nap, sorry. So I watch it with him, but I don't watch it. Like, I play my app games the whole time I'm watching TV anyway, but then sometimes, like, when it's the beginnings of a show, and I know I'm like, the beginnings are always kind of rough, I will maybe, like, watch some TikToks or watch some YouTube videos or something in one ear while I'm watching the TV. So I watch it, I just don't watch it. So
let's first do for Black Lightning. You vote first?
How about you vote first?
Okay.
Okay, we'll vote together.
Do it one at a time.
Okay, I'll vote first.
Okay. Really?
I would struggle to watch.
Okay, so I am so over it. I am beyond over it.
There are some things that I like about it, which I'll talk about right now. But it's kind of going in a wrong direction for me. The show as a whole.
The way they're taking Jefferson, right?
Yeah.
Actual Black Lightning. Like,
yeah.
His whole character, his whole demeanor has changed.
He's like not a hero.
No.
No,
and it doesn't look like there's anything redeeming left for him. Like, I know that a lot of heroes have to go through that hero journey and they make the mistake and they ostracize people, but like, even when like the Flash or Superman or something goes through that, they're still kind of inherently themselves. And I think they've taken away too much of who Jefferson is.
Yeah.
Now, granted, he did lose like his school, and he's been dragged through the mud, and his dad was killed, and his friend was killed. So I know he has all this stuff going on, but in the earlier seasons, he had this very Jefferson-ness about him. He had that, I guess, because I'm a teacher, like I kind of resonated with him. You know, he was the principal.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he held himself a certain way. He felt a certain way about things.
And he like cared. And now he doesn't seem like he cares.
Yeah.
And that's really bothering me.
Yeah, it's like they took the Jefferson out of Jefferson,
Yeah.
which I don't like. Like, obviously we can see him go on this journey and have hurt and like make some bad decisions, because that's what heroes do, and they kind of bounce back. But this is like almost made him into a whole nother character that's kind of like petulant and whiny and like just out for revenge and yet not out for revenge, like wanting to do something but not willing to do anything, and then like just kind of looking down on everybody and judging everybody else in his family. And I don't know, you guys know how I feel if you've watched the show before about any of these characters that become really whiny. Like, I want my heroes and heroines to have a certain bit of oomph, right?
I understand what they're trying to do with this. They're trying to bring light to the Black Lives Matter movement.
Right.
But I think they're doing it in the wrong way. They're doing it in the wrong way because they're making it to where people don't want to watch this. They should be making this show to people where people want to watch this.
Right, like,
because I was starting to get into it, and then these last 2 seasons have been kind of iffy for me because there was a kind of like a struggle there.
Right, and I liked it when he was fighting for what was right, and he and that policeman were standing for what was right, and I know that the policeman died, but rather than like doubling down and standing up even more, I don't know,
well, at the beginning, he stopped being Black Lightning
again. Yeah, he's just like not even willing to be Black Lightning, and he wants to tell his girls something. And I've got to say that his oldest daughter, I've always loved her. I've always loved her acting. I've always loved her character.
Yeah.
Daughter is no longer on the show, so they have to do something about that, and we're used to that with TV, right? That happens. You have to do something, and so nobody can hear us because the batteries died. A little bit because like the batteries totally died right in the middle of the thing. And we thought we had checked all the batteries. So anyway, so the actress that plays his youngest daughter, Jen.
So where do we go out about? Do you remember?
About here.
About Welcome to Geek Out SA. It's Friday and we're having fun.
Oh.
So shut up. So that I was watching him. So the actress that plays his youngest daughter, that plays Jefferson's, that plays Black Lightning's youngest daughter, that actress doesn't want to be on the show anymore, which all of us who are older, we're used to that, right? That's happened on TV a million times. They replace the character with another actress, and you just have to kind of go along with it. That's fine. And they had a pretty good reason why. Like, they made it kind of fit into her character of why, like, her whole face and everything changed.
And her body, she's taller, too.
So I actually like this actress better because she has a certain strength and carries herself a certain way, where the other actress was kind of whiny and always like, she was like Sansa, if you remember how Sansa was at the beginning of Game of Thrones, like real whiny and like, I'm a princess and like one of those characters.
Like totally not Arya.
No. So, but now this new actress, she carries herself differently. And so, and she has a different kind of strength, which is interesting because she's been through something really traumatic that's basically changed it. So, like the person that she sees in the mirror is no longer her anymore, you know? So I thought that they've done a pretty good job with her storyline.
Right.
But it's just that the parents drag me down so much that the little clips that I get to see of the girls are not enough to redeem the show for me.
That's another, the parents
both
are
parents,
really
the mom
upsetting
too.
me. I'm like, oh.
The mom, and she's like an addict, and she's like super whiny, and she can't, you know, talk to Jefferson the right way, and she can't talk to the girls, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's a lot. I don't like the way they're going with it.
Yeah, so for this one, I'm definitely kind of so over it. Yeah.
Over it. So yeah, and that's unfortunate because I really wanted to like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, not loving it. So
the next one, DC's Legends of Tomorrow.
So I don't know. This is a hard one to kind of. This is a hard one to vote on.
The first one, let's vote on it.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm going for maybe not.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna go with maybe not also.
Okay. That surprises me.
Let me explain why it's maybe not, because I know you think that I hate this show because it's like I don't watch it, and I don't watch it like I'm not intensely watching it.
Right.
Because you don't really have to, because it's stupid, but like in a funny, like good stupid way. Like it's stupid for the sake of being stupid, and like
campy.
Every episode
it's campy.
It's like worse than campy. It's just stupid. It's campy. It's like Evil Dead campy, but it's also like real stupid. Like you know every episode that it's just gonna be the stupidest thing you've ever heard of, the most ridiculous shenanigans. It's like Scooby-Doo fell into like a vat of peanut butter, you know. Like I don't know, it's just stupid.
And you and you can't turn away.
No. Oh, my battery's dead. But you can hear me through Vincent's, I'm sure.
Not so well.
Not well?
Oh, really well.
Really? I'm so loud.
So we have that.
They didn't hear me.
Well, they didn't hear you anyway. So no, I really like the campiness of it, and I like it. It kind of makes me feel like some of the RPGs I used to play in the late 80s.
Yeah, so I thought, so then this
real like weird stuff happens like all the time.
Like super stupid stuff happens, and then like some of the characters themselves are real idiotic. Like if you knew them in real life, you would just probably lock them in a closet because they're so stupid, right? And so like Gary in like a normal show would agitate me, but in this show he's like, you need him. He's like the stupidest of all the stupid, right? So you need somebody who's even more extra stupid. And so
he's chaotic good.
So in this one, all of a sudden, magically after all these seasons, he's an alien. Mm-hmm. Like it comes out of nowhere, right? And at first I was like, I'm so over this. But then as I'm watching it, I'm like, ooh, maybe not. Like this is like stupid compounded. It's like better than, I don't usually love like what's the funny guy that you like, the Call Me Shirley, Don't Call Me Shirley.
Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie Nielsen. I usually hate his stuff. Vincent like loves that kind of stuff, and I usually hate it. But that's kind of what DC Legends of Tomorrow feels like for me. Mm-hmm. I do really miss Superman, who was Adam. Brandon Rothschild or whatever his name is.
Brandon Roth. I think.
Brandon Roth. It's just Brandon Roth. He was a real cutie, but he was also like, I guess like the emotion and the kindness of the group. You know what I mean? Like, because you have Mick, who's just, you know, like burps and farts and
he
drinking.
He was a Dudley Do-Right of
Yeah, and
of the group.
like the other kid who's the historian guy who turns into steel. I can't remember their names now all of a sudden, but he's kind of he tries to fill in because he was kind of Adam's sidekick, but he's kind of there but not quite.
Yeah.
And of course we all know something's going to happen to Constantine because all of a sudden Constantine's just fine, and we know that Constantine's not allowed to be fine. So I kind of always love the whole Constantine arc because I wanted Constantine to keep his own...
Constantine. I loved it when Constantine was on the Legends.
Yeah, so every time he's on...
So I like it that he's on this season.
Yeah, every time he's on, I really enjoy him being on. So...
But like, I was going in and I was wondering like... on the ship, if they were gonna let out like Swamp Thing or something. I was like, oh shoot, they're gonna do the Dark Justice League with Swamp Thing and Constantine. So I was like, that would be awesome. I was like, but it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Because it was like a shadowy thing. Did it make you feel that way when you were watching it?
No, I didn't catch that vibe. I probably should have, but I didn't catch that vibe, so.
You know why? Because you're watching a TikTok at the time.
Probably, yeah.
Never. I was just playing my app game.
You were playing Matchington Mansion.
I was playing Matchington Mansion or Homescapes, one of those. And I love Sarah Lance because she's just like, she is the heart too, but she's also like one of those ridiculous characters that kicks butt in like a ridiculous way. Like nobody should kick butt the way she kicks butt, you know, and she's like, I'm a trained assassin. Like that's her explanation. Like every time she kicks something's butt that she should never be able to kick its butt. So, and then it's like so goobery because one episode she'll kick something impossible's butt, and then the next episode she like can't defeat the most basic thing, and then she needs everybody's help, and they've got to all be together. It's just the stupidest show ever. Like it's so dumb. I love it. I can't stop loving it. So.
Because it gives me the vibe that somebody's rolling dices for these things in the show.
It's just like a random encounters.
They're rolling dice and are like, oh, that's a 1. Oh, that's 20.
Oh, you failed epically. No, just kidding. You did great. Natural 20. Oh, geez. Sarah Lance for the win. Yeah, I can kind of get that vibe from it. So, yeah. So, we're maybe not over it yet for that one.
Very cool. Very cool.
What's next?
Next one is kind of the big one, which is probably should be historically the best one out of the bunch. The Flash.
Oh, The Flash.
So it's Flash.
I love you, Barry Allen.
So
Grant Gustin, you're a cutie.
Did better than
Arrow.
Even Arrow, I think.
Yeah. So
maybe not for me. So I'm kind of liking what's happening right now. I like the twist that just happened on the last episode. So over it, really. It's the Flash.
Barry. I know. It was so good. This was actually a show that I used to watch. Like, put my phone down. I'm watching it. I'm checking out what's happening. They had said before that the actor who plays Cisco Ramon is not going to be on the show anymore.
Tom Cavanaugh is.
So Tom Cavanaugh,
well.
we also know who's Wells is not going to be on the show. So I feel like some of that has been phoned in, and maybe they're trying to like get us away from those characters. I mean, Wells is gone already, and maybe they're trying to get us away from Cisco because they're going to get rid of it. Sorry. And I do realize in comics that it's kind of the same storyline repeated over and over and over again. I get it to an extent, but I just feel like this season they're not even trying.
Do you think some of that has to do with COVID and maybe the writers aren't all...
Maybe. It just seems like really sloppy writing this year. Like, the whole, like, the Speed Force being there, and we knew that the Speed Force was up to something, and, like, Barry doesn't really like her, but he doesn't say anything. And again, Barry still hasn't learned how to communicate with his team or his wife or anyone. Like, at some point, he's got to evolve as a character, or I can't watch him anymore. I just can't keep watching him do the same stuff over and over and over again with the same end result. You know, something bad happens to one of their friends. He's really sorry. He tries to make amends. He screws it up even worse. Like, it's just a vicious cycle that kind of has started to get on my nerves. And I don't know. I don't know what they were trying to accomplish with, like, the whole Killer Frost thing that they've been doing. That just seemed to, like, go on for too long, and I don't know. I don't feel connected to it.
I like Killer Frost.
I like her too, so I don't know why they decided, oh, they're going to try to force everybody to take the Medicure, and she's going to go to prison forever to make a statement. And so now I guess she's no longer going to be on the show because she's going to be in prison forever without parole, and unless they need her, like, for some, that character, Killer Frost, because we still have Caitlin. But
we still have Caitlin, which is the same.
But unless they need Killer Frost to, like, save the city in the future, and they're going to have to, like, pardon her or something, who knows?
That's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Killer Frost is kind of integral because she's kind of shown that she can help out the Flash.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Maybe not for me because I see where it can go and what it could do, but I think at some point Barry is going to need to start to make some choices.
Well, I think he's just going to have to evolve as a character. He's going to have to learn from some of his mistakes.
He's going to learn to have to play not nice with the Speed Force.
Yeah. Well, and he's going to have to learn some of that kind of stuff too, and how to, like, stand on his own and believe in himself and believe in his team and his wife and this connection that he has to his wife. Like, they've got to show some movement in his character, or I think they're going to lose other people. I don't think it's just going to be me that they lose. But yeah, they've pretty much lost me. Like, I'm still watching it because you're watching it, and I figure, well, maybe they can redeem themselves. But this last episode, I was just like, make it stop.
Well, typically, I think most of the superhero shows on the CW last about 8 seasons. So he's getting
there.
It's like season 7, I think, now.
Yeah,
so
I think so. Yeah.
Might be time.
Yeah, I guess the writers just run out of things. You would think with things like The Flash that have been a comic for so long, they would have enough comic book material to make shows for a very long time.
Not really.
Because it's a lot of a repeat of the storylines.
Yes, and how often do comic books come out?
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe not. So maybe they're running out of stuff, but I don't know. I really loved it. At the beginning, it was one of my favorite shows of all time. And I'm not going to let this season pitfall, and I didn't think last season was super great, but I'm not going to let that, like, deter me from still thinking, like, this was a really great show. For the most part, it was a really, really great show. So
what are some ideas that could make it better? Because where I think it's going, he's going to have to convince the other two forces to help him with the Speed Force. Maybe.
Because
I don't know.
Speed
Forza
Force
and
the other.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what the other one's called because I've been like. I think in order to redeem himself, he's gonna have to find some confidence in himself. He's gonna have to start being able to listen to what he thinks is the right thing, and he's gonna need to be aware of other people around him because he seems very narrow-sighted. Like, he doesn't know what other people are thinking, what the chess moves are ahead, and he's intelligent. Like, he's scientifically intelligent, and he's a forensic scientist, so he should be able to have some forward vision of what some of the chess moves are of some of these players, and not always be so blindsided by everything. You know? So I feel like I need to see some of that from him for him to rebuild some of my...
But isn't it because he was off? Because at the beginning of the season he was hurt.
I mean, he's been hurt and he's been without the Speed Force, and they've been trying to get him his Speed Force back and everything.
So
and get
maybe
him back
he's
to
just
where
not
he
able
is.
to do that because of that reason.
But they've been trying for a long time to, like, convince him that the Speed Force is not the only thing that defines him, and he has all of these other qualities, and he's helped all these other people and stuff. So
yeah, but without the speed, he's not the same hero.
Well, right.
Yeah. Without the speed, the Flash isn't the Flash.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, obviously.
He can't go in a Flash.
So to some extent, they're gonna have to give us. They're gonna have to let him have that back.
Yeah.
So that we can have that hero back. So I don't know. We'll see what they decide to do. I'm waiting to see if they can redeem themselves.
Yeah.
So we'll
Moving on next. Speaking of redeeming themselves, Supergirl. Supergirl. So for me, maybe not. What's that for you?
Can I put it like maybe
One or the other.
Okay.
Which one's it gonna
Because I was feeling this, but I'm feeling maybe not.
Okay, but we know that Melissa Benoist, which is the character that is done. She's
And she's
I think
Supergirl.
this is her last season.
Right. So one of the things that this show has done really well, though, is it has built up good story arcs for a lot of the characters. So as much as you love Supergirl, and you also love Alex Danvers.
Right.
And you also love Dreamer. And you also love Brainy. And you also love Martian Manhunter. You know, so they've built these characters and these story arcs enough that you could still have these players and bring in another actress maybe, and we're just not supposed to notice maybe that Melissa Benoist is gone. You know, I mean, it would take a little adjustment, right?
So this season, the majority of it, she's been in the Phantom Zone.
So she's in the Phantom Zone, and so her friends are trying to get her
So
out.
they're kind of doing the same thing that they're doing on Grey's Anatomy, where Meredith Grey is in a coma.
Right, and so her friends are trying to get her out. So it's everybody. So you're getting to see everybody else's story arcs. And one of the fun things that I thought they did a really good job with on Supergirl was they actually took Brainy and Dreamer into the past because they needed some of Kara's blood, and the actresses that they picked to be Kat and to be Alex and to be Kara, really good.
Oh yeah, because Cat Grant, the new actress that played young Cat Grant, what sounded just like her.
I know, and I loved Cat Grant. She was such a good character. I miss her on that show. She was like a really good character. I miss her and Jimmy Olsen, actually. They were both really good, and they hardly show that part of Supergirl's life anymore. We've really gotten away from that, and I miss some of that. It was nice to have those parts, those breaks, and some of that like everyday kind of drama-esque kind of 90210 type stuff, I guess, right? So I do miss some of that, and I'm not like loving the Phantom Zone like storyline and stuff. Some of it is a little contrived to me, and I'm like, oh, her dad is there? Oh, okay, great. You know? So that's why I was like, maybe this, but no, mostly this.
But like you said, the actresses that they picked, so they had Cat Grant, they have whoever they pick for Alex
looks a
like
lot.
it's her daughter or something.
Yeah, there was a
or
huge
her
resemblance.
younger sister or something like that. But the mannerisms of all of them, even Kara.
See, and I could take that little girl like that if they put, like, you know, did some makeup on that girl and made her look a little bit older and just kind of pushed her in the role for next season, and they wanted to keep it going. I'd take that little girl and just kind of run with it and be like, okay, I'm just gonna like switch my mind, and this is Kara now, and like, you know, I'll miss Melissa Benoist because she was really good, but I like this show enough that I think that it could carry on if they were willing to do something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's not the first time we've seen, or probably the last time that we have seen or will see somebody in a major role who's had some kind of life event or something, who needs to stop working or who wants to stop working, but the show's not done.
Ruby Rose.
Oh, are we going to talk about that one too? We should talk about that one too. And so the show, you know, could potentially move on and could do well. So, yeah. We'll see. So maybe not over it yet. Maybe keep watching it for a little bit. We'll see how that goes.
So right now there's other ones that we won't necessarily cover. There's Stargirl, which they're doing a whole thing with Stargirl.
Will you cough Ruby Rose? Are we going to talk about Batwoman?
Yeah.
Or do we have
I'm
enough
saving
time?
that one for last.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I'm saving that one for last. So they have Stargirl.
Yeah.
On the CW, they also have Superman and Lois.
Yeah.
Which is coming back on the 18th. I don't know when Stargirl's coming.
I'm struggling with Superman and Lois.
I'm struggling big time with Superman and Lois.
His teenage sons are so freaking annoying.
I like Superman. I like the Superman.
I like Superman, and I do like Lois.
I like Lois.
Their sons are horrible human beings, and I hate them.
Well, just the one son.
Yeah, the one. The whiny one who has the powers.
The whiny one that has the powers, yeah.
He's kind of ruining everything, and I don't like him.
Stargirl is actually due back in August of this year.
And Stargirl was cute. I think Stargirl is definitely, in my opinion, is geared more for a younger audience. Like, really, like, we watch it and it's okay and it's kind of cutesy, but it's really probably more for people who have, like preteen kids, like 12, 13, like, in their household. It's more of that kind of vibe. So it's cute, but it's not like every week I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to see Stargirl, you know? Like, if it's on, I'll watch it, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty cute. And they do some of the little, like, Stranger Things-esque type stuff, you know, where the Goonies-esque type stuff where the kids are friends and they help each other and, you know, boost up Stargirl and all that.
So the cool thing about this, some things that I've been watching happening, that John Wesley Shipp, which is the original Flash from the original Flash show, that happened, in the late 80s? Early 90s?
88 or something, maybe?
89 maybe.
Something like that. But what about him?
So, well, you know, he came back as one of the Flashes when they did the multiverse stuff.
Yeah, we liked that. That was really great.
So he's actually going to go back as that character into Stargirl.
Into Stargirl. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's going to help him out with that, maybe do some of the... Because she had the beginnings of the Justice League or something there, or whatever it was. So maybe he's going to help her out with that. Well, and have you seen anything
about, there had been some talks, and then I kind of saw it, and then it kind of, like, went silent, and so I didn't know if you had seen anything. Have you seen anything about the CW picking up Swamp Thing?
I haven't seen anything yet.
Because I liked that show.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that show.
Well, they did pick it up. Because we watched it, but they not for another season.
Yeah.
So, which is unfortunate.
That's unfortunate, because it was a good show. It was going good places, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I wish they would bring that one back. If they didn't bring that one, I wish they would do Dark Justice League and have Constantine and Swamp Thing in there.
Yeah.
So that would be cool.
Yeah, because I really like Constantine. I really wish they would have continued with his show. I'm glad just to get to see him on the Derpy Legends.
Yeah.
But yeah, anytime they want to bring back a Constantine show, I'm all for it.
So the last one that's current, that's going on right now, is Batwoman. So
we got a lot of flack for saying that we did not like Ruby Rose as Batwoman, but we stand by it. We did not like Ruby Rose.
I do not like Ruby Rose as Batwoman.
I don't care how hurt she was on the set, whatever. It was before she got hurt. She can't act. In my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm allowed to have it.
No, it's not that she can't act. She can only play one range of character.
Yeah.
And that is Ruby Rose.
And that's Ruby Rose, yeah.
In other words, she can't act.
She's like Kristen Stewart. She's like Kristen Stewart. She has just herself, and that's who she can play. So I was wondering where they were going to go with Batwoman. I was like, so has Ruby Rose killed Batwoman? Because that's a shame, because I like the whole Batman universe. I really enjoyed Gotham. And I was really bummed out that they stopped doing Gotham. I thought Gotham was really great. So when Batwoman was with Ruby Rose, I was so over it.
Okay. So
over it.
Ruby Rose, yes. Yes, so over it.
However, now maybe not.
Maybe not with this new actress.
Maybe not.
See, but the only thing is that they're doing with that is they keep playing it like she's going to be a temporary Batwoman.
Yeah, and I wish they would stop doing that, but I guess I realize they have to do that for a little while because we have to give the characters that are her family some time to like get past the fact that Kate Kane is not coming back. But now they have brought Kate Kane back, but in a mask, and I thought they were gonna kill her, and they like had some evidence that she was dead, so I was like, oh, she's dead, like they can move on. We can have this new Batwoman. She's gonna be totally awesome. She has a connection to Alice because Alice killed her mom. She had to go to prison. She has some street smarts. She struggled. She's seen the sides of Gotham, right? So
where I think people are having the problem with it, it doesn't follow the character because Kate Kane is Batwoman.
Right.
And they brought a different person altogether to be Batwoman.
Right.
Which,
but I think that's got to be okay sometimes in a comic book storyline driven show, because at any point in the comic book storyline, whoever the writer is, they could come in and make changes. I mean, we just saw Winter Soldier and the Falcon, and we've got a new Captain America, and we know that happens in the comics, that we get different Captain Americas, in
the comics we get different Captain Americas.
We have different Robins. We have, as Batman ages, he ages out,
We have different Batmans.
We have different Batmans. So I don't know why people are having a problem with this girl, because she is a good actress. She's a good actress.
She is a good actress.
She bounces really well with all the other actors and actresses in the show. All of her interactions with them are great. This most recent interaction between her and Alice, because I know Alice is your favorite character, and mine too, by far.
Like from the beginning.
From the beginning, Alice is the best.
The only thing that was keeping me watching that show was Alice. Was the bad guy.
Yeah. And so, Alice has continued to be Alice, which is great because she was super great. But her interactions with the new Batwoman make me want to watch it. Like, that that they're gonna have to, it's like Batman and Joker, right? You know that they're gonna hate each other, but yet sometimes like Batman's gotta let Joker go because Joker can do something or whatever, and it's that dynamic, and that's how it is here. She's like, Alice sucks to suck, peace out, but like But if it came down to it, like, and she needed Alice for something, she would be there, like, asking Alice for help, because she asked her for help at the beginning of the episode. So it's like this whole back and forth. It's really good.
They made her gritty and not just, I don't know, Ruby Rose didn't fit that part.
Well, and she was really, in my opinion, even though she was trying to do the fight scene, she seemed very stiff, where this girl seems very fluid, as if it comes very naturally to her. So I don't know if she just practices a lot, or maybe they have a stunt double for her that does it much better than Ruby Rose did, or Ruby Rose's stunt double. I don't know what the deal is. I haven't done enough research. But even her fight scenes seem very authentic.
Yeah.
You know, whereas Ruby Rose's just seemed really stilted and just kind of like you could tell it was choreographed, which you're not really supposed to be able to tell that.
Well, the majority of her stuff as Batwoman was all dark background, so you couldn't really see anything. Yeah. It's different with this one because it's not a dark background, and you can see every single thing that she's doing. They're not trying to hide it because she can do it. Because
she's dynamic, and she's really getting it done. So, yeah. I'm still enjoying it. I'm still watching it.
So yes.
So maybe not. Oh, and I also like. I always forget the little girl's name. The one that's the other sister.
The sister.
That's the doctor and everything. Mm-hmm. I was kind of hoping she was gonna kind of get to take on the mantle of Batwoman for a little while. I really like her. She's a really cute little actress and just really good, very fiery and I like her a lot. So, I like it still. It's a little girl power-ish. I'm kind of down.
I dig it. So yeah, this was our CWDC. Maybe not or so over it
or maybe not
edition. What did you think? Let us know in the comments. If you haven't liked this episode, like this episode. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel and click on that notification bell so the next time we go live, you'll know. But thanks for checking us out. I'm Vince.
I'm Colleen, and that's Stuart over there.
Geek out, essay.